Final Stop Brazil. Book 2, Life After Hell. Chapter 66. Beautiful Salvador. End of January 2010. And again a lot had happened, but more in my heart than around me, even though there was also some motion. The consulate of the Foreign Office had sent out the police to my relatives in Germany to determine who could support me financially. Once again, one of these humiliations. More than once I had explained that there is no one. When I was in prison, I didn't want any help of the German consulate. It was forced upon me. Now that I needed help, they denied me. Harassed my mother instead, who not even remembered me. My daughter, who had to take care of her 3 children, and my sister. The answer of my brother-in-law came promptly and unequivocally. Also, he announced that he and my sister would transfer money for me. I indeed received the money, but at the same time he pointed out that this could only be a unique payment. In some of the following emails, he clearly repeated this but in a form as I had set the police on him. Once again, I crept to the cross and thanked him kindly, left aside all his humiliation like, "You're to blame for your situation," and "Thanks to the loving care of your sister, your mother is well, considering the circumstances," between the lines. The allegations concerning our mother was that I was not present to care for her, I assumed. All explanations I wrote in my reply mails were ignored. So what? At least I had some ground under my feet again, and did the only right thing I could do in my situation. I used some of the money to have internet access installed in my room. Thus, I could go on with my work. I promptly got my first big order for a translation into German and Spanish, which brought me almost 200 reais. Now I could pay the second installment for Italva, for the MP4 player, and the costs for internet access I already had back in. This customer of a film production company was very satisfied with my work and recommended me further to friends and other companies. Of course, I didn't rest with this. Instead, sent to numerous web design agencies my offer for translation of websites, which are always needed in several languages. In addition, I continued with my export business and took more products in my program, concentrated on countries which had been recommended to me by my business contacts. If Brazil expulsed or deported me, actually, I could take this work with me. If I stayed, I was able this time to actually manage to work independently. Only my computer gave me a headache, kept crashing. It was simply too old, very slow. The storage capacity had reached its limit. I was afraid it would not last much longer. I needed urgently a newer one, or a notebook I could carry with me. The day of the traditional Bomb Film Festival, on the second Thursday after Epiphany, 2 conflicting religions gather for a religious ritual washing of the church steps Nosso Senhor do Bom Fim in Salvador. On this day, a common parade of Catholics and followers of Candomblé takes place, and many people are marching about 8 kilometers through the streets of Salvador up to the church. The songs of worship are sung to the 2 most important deities of each faith, to Jesus Christ and the so-called Oxalá. This is one of the greatest examples of the phenomenon of Brazilian fusion of religions, which is designated as syncretism. About 1 million people are gathering here. I decided to participate, but the way of 10 kilometers before reaching the church appeared to be too far for me. The idea of walking another 8 kilometers through the city made me decide to stay at the Mercado Modelo, where the festival was held, for the population. Of course, I was drawn to the samba groups, where I listened to the music and was tempted again to be dancing with the folks. Except for a barbecue skewer for 250 reais and the mineral water, I allowed myself nothing. With money, I had now learned to be cautious. On the way back inside the Lacerda elevator, I met a very nice man, what actually surprised me, because I had not dyed my hair, neither painted my fingernails. Where the nail varnish was already crumbling. I felt no great desire anymore to take care of myself. We had a very nice conversation after he invited me for an agua de coco, and I learned a lot of him about the history of Salvador. I didn't know before. He even could persuade me for a car ride to the Barra, noble beach of Salvador. I knew that this Baiano pursued only one intention. But one thing was clear, it was over. I didn't want to search and find any more. Yes, I felt lonelier than ever before here in Salvador, but I knew now that this was my destiny. I was tired of fighting against it. Precisely for this reason, this day had a nice ending. We went to the Ondina, also a very nice beach, where we settled ourselves with another agua de coco, rode then towards the zoo, where he showed me the governor's palace, and a little further we spotted a place with a magnificent view across the sea, with a tropical rainforest behind. I never saw this man again, threw away his phone number the same evening, and it was okay like that. While working, I listened to music via the internet, provided myself with my own music list on YouTube, which included samba and old songs from the time of Tony. Among other songs, I found the song by Shalama, A Night to Remember. Again and again I listened to it, and shed the first time in years tears over this lost love. I didn't feel well with it, and in the same night I dreamt about my fruitless search for him. Once more I was in the barracks and asked my way through. I was told that he was here, but I was told to leave the premises because I had no authorization to be there. He was so close, but I didn't see him. Bathed in sweat, I woke up, felt sick. I could not sleep again, and thought about this dream and about all the times in which I had tried desperately to find him, at least to know whether he was alive. After the end of the first Iraq war, I phoned highest authorities of the U.S. armed forces, but never received any information. It shall not be, not in this life, nor should it have been that I had this child, neither Michael. That my son had turned away from me, I had to cope with. One friend of mine stayed a true friend, Ratinho. I had enclosed him in my heart as a friend, and it hurt me very much that I could not keep my promise to reimburse him his expenses. In a long email, I explained to him the reason. Finally, I received an answer from him. He was not angry with me, believed me, and understood why. We corresponded as before, although it was a little hard for me to turn our conversations as funny as it used to be. One day, one of my neighbors from the Posada, where I lived since my return, remarked that I was only working, that I should be going out sometimes and enjoy life. This set me thinking for a moment. No, I didn't need to go out anymore. What for? There was only one thing to do. Work, to get back on my feet. I never wanted to rely on others anymore, and to give mainly the children a better future that needed and deserved it, my boys.